Hey, you guys, and welcome back to Breathe Your Words. Thank you for coming back to my channel if you're back. And if it's your first time watching, I hope that you enjoy what you hear and I hope that you share it. Excuse my voice. I'm trying to practice having a calmer tone. I've been learning a lot of things lately. One of the things I've been learning, and one thing that I learned recently, is what slander really was. People think that slander has to do with many different things. When it comes to talking about people behind their backs or things like that. And really, the real definition of slander I learned today, it's like if I'm talking to you about somebody that me and you know together, but I know something about them that you don't know that can make you look at them in a bad way. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I thought to myself, like, man, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to speak on people like that in a way where if I'm talking to someone about them and then all of a sudden their attitude changes towards that person because of what I'm saying, So I thought about that, and there was a lot of stuff I had to repent about. It was a lot of things I had to, just release and forgive myself on because of the fact that, I just don't want that character around. I didn't know I was doing it. I didn't realize I was doing it until I heard the message, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. There are moments where I think to myself, like, I have been doing that. Like, how you think that you might be talking to a friend about another friend, and they're y'all mutual friend, but maybe that friend is going through something. And then you think you can trust the other person, and you start talking to them about what they're going through, but instead of the message getting to them in a way that's not bad, they take that message in a way that's bad, and then they all of a sudden don't want nothing to do with that person, or they're looking at them like, what? It makes me think sometimes, like, is that how I lost half the friends that I lost? Because someone was saying something negative about me, without apologizing. There have been many times where I've said honest things about people, and I've shared honest things about people, but I was willing to talk to that person after the fact and say, this is what was past. This is what's new. So we're not there anymore, meaning we're not stuck there. I shared that because that's old. We got past it, though. And they know because I shared it from start to finish. I didn't just stay at the part where it was all bad. But unfortunately, people take the bad and they want to hold on to that. And that's not healthy. I feel like that's something we have to stop doing. So yeah, anyway, that was that part on slander. I just thought about that and I wanted to share that. But what I really wanted to get on here to share was, you guys, we got to be careful about the things we watch and the things we listen to and the things that we're feeding our bodies, feeding our souls, feeding our spirits. And I say that because, recently I was listening to, I think, Pastor Greg Laurie, and he was talking about how, just like with pornography, he used pornography for an example, and he was saying that if you watch pornography constantly, then eventually you're going to want to do the act because you've been watching it so much. Now you're like, okay, I've watched it enough. Now I want to do it. It's just like people who go from weed to heroin. It's like, okay, well, I did weed. Weed is not getting me high enough. So now I need something more. And it's the same thing with any addiction. Like, it becomes an addiction because you're like, okay, well, this is not working. Now I need something more. And then when you go to the more, that's when you find yourself addicted to things that are dangerous, that are deadly, that can hurt you, that can kill you, and not just physically, but also mentally and spiritually kill you. And, we don't think about that. It's like, it's crazy. Like, if I sit there, example for myself, okay? I used to watch this show called The Affair, right? Don't judge me, okay? It was a good show because I liked the story plot or whatever, but it was wrong. Like, it was all the way wrong. Like, like, the guy, he was a writer. He would, if you've seen The Affair, then you know the show. He would go out of town to write or whatever at their little family home or whatever, their little lake house or something like that they had. And while he was there, he met some woman, fell in love with the woman. At first it started out as just a sexual thing, and then he fell in love with a woman. She fell in love with him. She got pregnant. It was a lot. It was craziness going on. It was so much happening, and I was like, what? But I was so into this show, and I remember that my mind started having those thoughts. Like, I could get away to write too, you know? And I'm like, no, I don't want to live like that. That's not right. Don't do it. That's wrong. That's evil. We don't want to do that. So, thinking about it, excuse me, my allergies have been acting up all day. So thinking about it, when I was constantly watching it, I was having those thoughts like, well, I mean, it didn't turn out horribly bad for him, but in actuality, it turned out awful for him. Like, he ended up going to jail. He ended up, almost getting murdered more than once. It was crazy. There was so much stuff going on with this dude in the show that you would have wanted to just be like, dude, just give it up, dog. It ain't, like, she ain't even worth all that. She ain't even worth all that. Then he loses his whole family. Then his family started a new family. He ends up being by himself, single after he get out of prison. It's crazy. I was like, what? Man, it was like, but I use that example to say that literally your mind will go there. Like when you fill your mind with that constantly, like I was watching whole series in like whole seasons in one day. So that was a lot. That's not good ever. So nowadays, if I'm watching a show, I'll watch one episode and that's it, or two max. That's it. You cannot sit there like if you like American Horror Story. Don't sit there and watch American Horror Story for 5 hours a day. Unhealthy. It's not good. Don't do it, okay? Because then you'll find yourself wanting to take somebody's life. That's a fact. American Horror Story, that's all they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a horror story. They had to find the scary stories of America and portray it, okay? So, you know what I'm saying? So, don't do it. It's not worth it. And then, like, it's so many affair shows out today. Like, it's a show on Netflix. No, I think it's on Netflix. I can't remember, but it's called Sex Life. And man, the dude is so clueless to what his wife is doing. I'm like, for real, you can't be that stupid, man. Like, in the show, the guy is, he's rich. He takes care of the wife. They have a nice house. They have a son. And, the wife is just not satisfied because she's a stay-at-home mom now because she's taking care of the son. And the husband is okay with that. The husband says she don't have to work, whatever, just take care of the baby. It's cool. He go to work, he come home, but he don't notice her. So she feels like alone and unnoticed. And she's not saying nothing. She's not telling him these things. Instead, she meets her ex-boyfriend. And then, of course, you know what happens after that. So, yeah, could it have been avoided? Of course, has she spoke up and communicated with her husband? But she didn't. Anyway, I'm not going to rant anymore. But the fact of the matter is that if you stay watching shows like that, if all the shows I watched was Sex Life, The Affair, whatever can be, oh my God, there's a show called Wonderlust. Things like that. If you watch stuff like that all the time, 24/7, then as a married person, you are going to want to go out and have an affair and to see how it ends, right? And it's not, excuse my nose, it's not a good idea. So, I would just say, just don't do it. Just don't fill your mind with that stuff. If you know that you're a sensitive person when it comes to shows you watch, then be careful what you watch. Just that simple. For me, I've never been sensitive to shows. So normally I can watch something for hours and be good and go to bed. Like, I don't got no problem. I'm not going to wake up trying to figure out who I need to kill today. You know what I'm saying? Or who I need to go sleep with today besides my husband. I'm not about to do that. But people out there do that. There are many of us who are sensitive in spirit to a lot of things. And they're meaning you're easily influenced. So if you are easily influenced, please guard your mind, guard your heart, guard your soul. Watch what you put into your body. Watch the things that you are watching. Be careful. Be careful. Because if you're not careful, then you'll find yourself out there trying to do the exact same thing you're watching. And it's dangerous. It's really dangerous. So be careful, stay focused, and stay blessed, y'all. Preferably, I'll get to share some more videos this week. If I don't make it back, just pray that I make it back because, I try to get on here and give y'all something encouraging and educational with my sleepy face, but that's okay. So anyway, I hope y'all have a blessed day. I hope the message was great. I hope that y'all share it, let somebody else know. If you don't know how to explain it, then share it. And then I can explain it for you. Simple. Okay. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day. And yeah, thank you for watching.